Hey everyone, it's Marcus. I hope you are all doing fantastically well, and I have kind of a cool announcement to make. Amplitude Studios, the makers of Endless Space 2, have given me 2 digital deluxe edition keys for Endless Space 2 that I can give out to my viewers. Now, the way this is going to work is I'm going to create a Google form, and there will be a link to it below in the description. And that form will ask you for your YouTube username and your email address. Now, as a result, you will have to be signed in to YouTube in order for this to work. I wish there was a way I could restrict it to only my subscribers, but there really is no good way to do that. But anyone who's viewing this video, who views any of my videos, is definitely welcome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it go for a week. And after that week is over, I'll record another video where on camera, I'll go to a random number site because everyone who signs up will be numbered based on the order that they signed up. And I will announce the winners in a fair way. And then I will contact the winners privately via email, which, by the way, will not be publicized. No one's emails will be shown, and I will get them their keys. So that's fantastic. I'd really like to thank Amplitude for that. That was really nice of them. I have to make it clear that this has nothing to do with me. I'm not doing this for you. Amplitude is doing it for you. So that's really cool of them. And I hope you really enjoy Endless Space 2 because I've been having a blast with it, even though it's in alpha. And they haven't even announced all the factions yet. And I'm still loving it. So I just can't wait for what will come in early 2017. And good luck to you. The next thing I wanted to talk about is kind of a summary of the state of my channel currently. Right now, I'm in the middle of 2 series, Dwarf Fortress and Quest for Glory 4, Shadows of Darkness. Now, Dwarf Fortress, some of you who are really into that series will probably know, has not been getting as many updates recently as it has in the past. It's because I've gotten to that point in any Dwarf Fortress game where it's late game, things just slow down, FPS is slower, a lot's going on, and because I don't show everything, because I only want to record when something interesting happens, there's a lot more filler time that goes in between episodes that I've got to play through. So that's the rationale for that. But I do hope I'll be able to spend more time playing and recording Dwarf Fortress so I can start increasing the amount of episodes of that coming in. With Quest for Glory 4, Shadows of Darkness, that series is actually complete. The final episode will be uploaded soon, and that will be the end of that. I really enjoyed playing the game. It was just so nostalgic, and it was different for my channel. I understand that. People aren't used to me playing adventure games, but I really had a good time. And for those of you who watched it and enjoyed it, thanks for going on that journey with me. For those of you who haven't seen it, maybe you just thought it wasn't something you'd be interested in, I really want to recommend you go and give it a look. Because, again, I felt like I did a really good job. I felt like it was a really fun game. It was presented well, very short series. So I think many of you would like it if you gave it a chance. As far as my Stoic Plays series, I've got a lot of things coming up in the near future, indie games and such, that I think you all will really like. And if there ever is a game or something out there that you'd like me to take a look at, by all means mention it in the comments or shoot me a note, because I'm always on the lookout for interesting stuff. That's the whole point of Stoic Plays. I mean, occasionally I'll do a big AAA game like Endless Space 2, but I also like to play a lot of indie games, a lot of games that don't get that much exposure. So I'm always open to suggestions. I can't be everywhere at all times, and so there's probably a lot of good games out there that I haven't even heard of. Also, some of you will be happy to hear that at the start of the new year, I intend to start a new historical series on a particular Roman who has been considered by some to be the last. So yeah, I know many of you have waited a while since my last historical series, and it's just because there's so much material there and I want to do it right. So I've read numerous books on this particular period of Roman history, and all I got to do now is just compile my thoughts, kind of write out some notes, some lesson plans, if you will, and get everything recorded and set up. But that will be coming, as I said, no later than early 2017. And that's really all I've got right now with the channel. If any of you out there are interested in Roman history, just in general, in other media, I just got through watching the Netflix miniseries Roman Empire: Reign of Blood. And it is a very interesting show. It's a documentary in the sense that they have learned figures giving their impressions upon characters, not characters, but real historical people, figures during the time period. But at the same time, they dramatize it heavily, almost like as if a documentary with the sensibilities of Game of Thrones. And what I mean by that is there's a real emphasis on the drama and the betrayal, and they have acted out scenes with blood and gore and more than a few pairs of boobs. So if that sounds like something that you'd be interested in, I highly recommend you check it out. It was actually really, really good. It was about the Emperor Commodus, who, if I were to have chosen a Roman emperor to make a series on, Commodus certainly wouldn't have been my guy, but they did a really fantastic job, I think, humanizing him, because Commodus is kind of portrayed historically in the sources that we have as being a caricature of this evil, incompetent, loutish emperor. And this series really goes into detail of kind of why he was that way, and the choices that were left for him, and how the life that he led and how it colored who he was and what he did. And so I think it does a fantastic job humanizing him and really looking at his reign. And he reigned for like 12 years, 13 years from all the angles. A big shout out too, because in the early part of the series, they have Marcus Aurelius, and the guy who plays him, man, I don't know how to say it. I'm used to a Marcus Aurelius from reading the Meditations and from other sources, who's kind of a kindly, old, jovial figure. And this guy played him like really stern. Like he's a badass Marcus Aurelius who goes around like just kicking ass and taking names. And it's really interesting to see that portrayal of Marcus, because that's not how I picture him in my mind. And I mean, they even imply at one point that he murdered his wife. Murdered / executed. But historically, that doesn't really bear out. She died far away from him, and despite the fact that it was well known that she wasn't exactly the most faithful and upstanding of wives, he was always presented as being devoted to her. So I think that was a weird place they took that in, but anyways, I still recommend you watch the series because I think it's really, really good. So if you have access to Netflix, check it out. I'd recommend it. Once again, that's Roman Empire, Reign of Blood. And they are not paying me to say that. But again, anything having to do with Marcus Aurelius, I'd like to take a look at. All right, folks. Well, so thanks again for watching my channel, for subscribing, for liking, for following me, and communicating with me in the comments. I appreciate it very much. As with any YouTube channel, Marcus Aurelius Let's Play is nothing without you, the viewer. So thank you so much. And also thanks again to Amplitude Studios for these 2 digital deluxe edition keys of Endless Space 2. I hope you guys, whoever wins, really enjoys them. Have a good one, everyone.